welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be all about my top 6 labor and delivery regrets. So if you want to know the top things that I regret doing and I wish I would have done differently, then go ahead and just keep on watching. Also, please be sure to subscribe if you're new and give this video a thumbs up. And stay tuned because my next video is going to be all about my labor and delivery essentials. So the things that I am so glad that I brought, and even a few things that I wish I would have brought with me. So if you want to see that, check the description box below and be sure to subscribe. So before I start this video off and get into my regrets, I do want to say that overall, I had a really great labor and delivery. I was very blessed to have a healthy baby, and I was healthy and we didn't have any complications. So I do want to say that, first of all, that it's not like I had a horrible experience and I have a million regrets, but these are just things that I wish I would have done differently now that I've gone through the process and I know what to expect. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right in. So my first regret is not going to birthing classes with my husband. I thought it was kind of a gimmick. I didn't think it was really important. I thought that the nurse was going to be right there beside me, helping me through the process. Well, it didn't really turn out that way. At the hospital, the nurse was there to help change my sheets if I needed, maybe get me medicine if I really needed some type of pain medicine, whatever they would allow me to have at that moment. But really, she wasn't there by my side helping me through the contractions. So there was still a time period from before I got my epidural to when I got the epidural, it was basically from I started at 2 centimeters up until 4 to 5 centimeters is when I got my epidural. So all that time I was laboring and having contractions and I didn't really know what to do. I was really tensing up and I could not relax through them. So I think that having the classes would have helped me know what to do and maybe be a little bit more relaxed, and also have my husband be more prepared to help coach me through that whole process. So if I could do it again, I would go to the classes, get as informed as possible, and know how to breathe and relax through those contractions so they're going to be as effective as possible. So kind of going off of that, the second thing that I wish I would have done differently is just knowing that it's okay if you want to stand up during labor. It's okay if you want to get on all fours. I wish I would have tried different birthing positions, because I really ended up laying on my back most of the time, and I was very tense, and I also had a whole lot of back labor. So I think laying on my back did not alleviate any of that pain for me, and I've heard that if you stand up or get in other positions, it can help have less pressure in your abdominal area. So I wish I would have tried more, but I was just so overwhelmed by the contractions that I didn't really know what to do other than clench up and get really tight. So I wish that I would have gone to those classes and learned different positions and then tried it when it actually came time. So the next thing that I wish I would have done differently is I wish that I would have arranged for someone to get my husband dinner the night that I went in to have Shiloh. So we went in around 5:30 for me to be induced, and Tyler ended up leaving me and going out to get food around 8:30. I wasn't in extreme pain yet, but I did just start with Cervidil, so I was not knowing what to expect. I didn't know if contractions were going to start or if I would be in any kind of discomfort. So I really wish that he would have been there with me just to hold my hand through a contraction if I had one and not be alone. Definitely be sure to plan ahead, bring snacks with you. Pack them for your significant other, even if they think that they won't need them. That was my husband, and then he just complained about being hungry the entire time. So make sure that you arrange for someone to bring you food so they don't have to leave you and miss out on anything. So my next piece of advice, and what I wish I would have done, is focus more on the fact that you're going to be meeting your baby and that you're finally going to experience this little life and see the child that's been growing inside of you. Focus on that aspect and not so much on what's going to happen to me and what is it going to feel like to be in labor. When I went in to have Shiloh, I was induced. So I knew it was gonna happen, and we packed up, and I just remember being so anxious and so overwhelmed with what the whole experience was going to be that I couldn't even focus so much on, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get to meet my daughter. So I think that kind of sucked out a lot of the excitement, and it just like made me in this weird kind of like funk or fog. So now looking back and like watching other people's birth videos who's had multiple babies, I wish that I would have gone in just being super excited that, wow, I finally get to meet my daughter. And yeah, I'm gonna make it through whatever, how many hours that this lasts. But ultimately, that's what I get to focus on. So with every contraction, with every push, I wish that I just would have been like completely focused on I'm getting closer and closer to meeting my daughter. My next piece of advice for you, if you are having a baby for the very first time, and I wish I would have done this, is to ask your nurses for no visitors after having the baby. There were a couple occasions where we had visitors come in unannounced, and I was by no means ready for them to come in, meaning that I was breastfeeding Shiloh with the lactation consultant there, or I was literally crying because of how tired I was. So it was embarrassing, and I was tired and I was not ready for it. So if you do not want visitors, make it clear to your nurses, because it's likely that if you're staying in a hospital that they're just gonna send them straight to your room unannounced and not let you know. So be sure to let them know if you don't want anyone to come in, so you can avoid those awkward or unwanted scenarios. My very final piece of advice, and something that I wish I would have done, is that you need to document. Be sure to take as many pictures as you can. Be sure to take videos, even going in to the hospital, because you're gonna wanna remember those moments. And especially once they're born, like right after they're born, have the nurse take photos if you're not able to. Thankfully, our nurse did that for us, and that was such a huge lifesaver, because our parents weren't there in the room when she was born, so we were able to capture that moment. And I personally wish that I would have done my makeup and hair at least one day after having her while we were still in the hospital, so that I could get a good photo of just her and me in the hospital to look back on, because I don't have that. I didn't bother to do my hair or my makeup. I wasn't really in the mood, if you know what I mean. But I wish I would have done it so that I have that to look back on, so that I could frame it or whatever, just for a keepsake. So be sure to document as much as you can. Do newborn photos. Go out of the way for photos, because that's all you're gonna have to look back on. And you're not gonna regret that you did that. All right, you guys, those are my top 6 labor and delivery regrets. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching this video. Be sure to leave a comment down below and let me know, do you have any labor and delivery regrets where you're similar to mine, or did you have a different experience? Be sure to let me know down below in the comments. But I will see you in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye. Say bye, Shiloh. Say bye. Bye.